The Immaterial Games podcast with these guys.
For some reason I didn't fucking hear at that time and my hands are fucking
What?
freezing.
Why would you do that?
I don't know and I don't get why they're cold. I've been in my house for hours. I say out. Yeah, I've been in my house for hours.
Jesus. What, and that's changed anything in what way?
My hands haven't warmed up.
Yeah, that's usually a sign of poor blood flow. Poor blood flow.
And then they hurt when I clap.
Well, you're lucky in some regards, then, aren't you? Could have been worse. You could have no feeling in your hands at all.
True.
So.
You could have no hands.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Take it to its logical conclusion.
You're just evil about people who have like. You're discriminating. You're both discriminating.
No, I actually feel for people who don't have no hands.
How do you feel for them?
I'm an empath.
What, you're touching them? That's just bad. That's just bad.
No. Empath.
You're not an empath.
How do you know?
'Cause I know you're not. You're a chipmunk.
No.
At best.
Right, anyway, yeah, before we end up in the weird genus discussion, and what people are like, let's get on with this. This is the Immaterial Gamers podcast. Episode 37, I believe.
How many
we're
have I
on now.
missed? How many has he missed? He's not been around more than me, I bet.
Dariusz was around in podcast 34?
Probably.
34.
Probably.
Most likely.
I love the fact he doesn't even know. Just probably.
Let's have a look. Yeah, 34. With you.
That's because I bring all the Dariuses.
Yeah, your Dariuses bring all the Dariuses to the yard. Wait, what? Anyway, yeah, I'm Ryan. We've got Dariusz and Stefan.
Yo-ho! SpaghettiOs!
And, we bring this on a Sunday where I've had a week off my actual job.
He don't really work, to be honest. Like to make him think he does.
Excuse me, I work. I work.
Who'd you work for?
That is not something I'll be giving away here.
He's a hitman.
That's because you don't work. We've
No?
You do know what this is. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you the truth.
What do you mean the truth?
The truth.
The truth is
You
evil.
can't handle the truth.
I can handle the truth.
You can't.
No, you can't.
Oh, I already know I can't. That's why I don't want to know the truth.
Well, we're all hooked up to the Matrix. Come on,
That's not the
it's
truth.
What, now? 21 years old, is that now?
That's not the truth. That's the biggest lie you were given.
You are a confusing person, you know that?
Oh, I always try to be. What's your point?
Yeah, absolute weirdo. But no, enjoyed my week off. So there.
Did you have spaghetti?
Sort out stuff. No. Actually, I haven't had spaghetti. I did use a homemade pasta machine though. I've tried to make spaghetti.
Ooh, how did that go?
We'll move on.
Let's just say no one else in his house is alive.
It was a
I've not seen
learning
mine
process.
for a bit, and I've not seen Don for neither for quite a bit, so I'm assuming he killed them all.
No, not yet.
But Ryan, really bad
Oh, yeah.
Ryan.
Why?
Really bad.
Well, you don't know that they were one of his hits.
Hey?
You're a hitman.
I am not a hitman. I know someone who is a hitman. No, I don't.
Technically,
right,
you
hold
do.
on. Disclaimer, full disclaimer. I do not know any hitmen.
You do.
Oh, you do at least one.
See,
I-
even we know
well,
you do.
What, Agent 47. He's a video game character.
Yeah.
That's not really someone you know, is
No,
it?
that
So I
is
can't say I went and had drinks with Crash Bandicoot, can I?
Dariusz is a professional hitman. Did you not know this?
Right, he wears a suit now to work. That doesn't,
You don't wear a suit for work.
Well, he wears
He
a
used
shirt.
to. When he was a hitman. And he got paid better.
Because now he's ending up into the more of business casual as opposed to,
Well, enough of private life. Let's move on.
Yeah. So, we're heading into bits of personal life that we really don't want to be, going to for everyone. So let's kick this off with what's being played.
What's being played?
Cha cha cha.
And Yes, cheers, Steph. Cha cha cha. So, based on the fact that Dariusz, you've been the person who's been here the least recently, you go first.
That doesn't mean I played much. It's way opposite. But
Why do we have this person? He's useless. I asked we get a whole new thing.
Yeah, just scrap Immaterial Games. We go again. Right, no.
No, scrap the whole image. Just scrap everyone who's in it. We'll get all new people.
The brand new Immaterial Games with Brian, Stephen, and...
Derek.
Derek.
Just replace us
Anyway.
all.
What I've been playing is some of the Star Wars Battlefront games.
Okie dokie.
There's
Which
another one.
ones?
I like flying in those spaceships.
Wait, we talking about the old Battlefront here, or...
Oh, the second one.
Oh, Star Wars EA Battlefront 2.
Yes.
Ah. How is that now?
Well, there are still people complaining about it, but it's a Star Wars game. I like Star Wars games, and
I like Star Wars games. Fanboy.
the mechanics work so far for me. I don't have anything to say
Ah.
bad about it.
So you said you like the flying in the spaceships there.
Yes, or it's hard. Don't take me wrong. It's hard to get a grip on it.
Mm.
It's a good one.
Especially when you have the players who spend 200 hours on it. So you're literally
spending
getting
200 hours on it?
literally blasted to pieces within a second.
People need lives. Lives need lives.
But if you're trying at least to complete the objectives, then you have a big chances of shooting down someone and getting good scores. Because that's mainly what it is about, fulfilling the objectives to get a good score on the end, and then you can level up. And when you can level up, you can add extra cards to your profile. So that next time when you're flying with that, using this or this ship, they have let's say 10% of more health.
Yeah, that was the main point of contention though, wasn't it, when EA Battlefront 2 came out?
Yeah.
Was this like loot boxy structure?
Yes,
that
because you could
basically
literally
pay for
kind
power.
of like pay for the loot boxes and get the better cards, isn't it?
Yeah.
But right now it's more like you have to level up to use them anyway.
Right. Okay.
So I don't think it's like the biggest concern at the moment.
Mm.
Yes, there are still quite the controversy with those loot boxes. It is, but it's not as bad as the first one, because in the first one you had a special ability for your character.
Yeah, the hero cards, weren't they?
Yes, hero cards, let's call them. They look like golden cards.
Mm.
And you could only use this ability if you had those cards on hand.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, you could not use it. So you had to buy it. How to buy it? Well, you can pay with the in-game currency, or you can spend your real money for it.
Yep, sounds pretty EA.
Pay to win! Yay!
Yeah, that was in the first Battlefront. On this one, you don't really have to, because as soon as you unlock that card, it stays with you.
Mm.
So there is no need for rebuying this ability every single time, basically.
Yeah. Nah, I get what you mean. So, just so I remember, did this have a season pass?
Don't remember, but if it did have a season pass, I kind of get it together with the Origin Prime.
Yeah.
So I'm not entirely sure about this one at the moment.
Mm. Yeah, no, it's only because because me and Martin.
But I think it, at some point, yes, it did have a season pass, and through the season pass you were able to unlock certain characters.
Mm. I get it, because that was.
Yeah.
I was saying that was the main issue that we had with EA Battlefront, EA Battlefront 1, was that the game came out and it was basically half a game. And then the season pass added the extra maps that by the time it was done, you paid double the price for
Yes.
a game.
Well, with number 2, what it was is, I think you get you from the beginning, because the game is like 2 years old or something. On the beginning, you had all the maps in the game.
Yeah.
However, you had to pay to have like iconic characters in the game. So if you want to play like Lord Vader, you had to pay extra. And that's where all the controversy with the loot boxes started, because you could graft through the loot boxes to get the Darth Vader.
Yeah, because that was also the time, wasn't it, when they were caught on their idea of this pay-to-win advantage. It was like, well, we'll take the microtransactions out temporarily.
Yes.
And at the same time, they bumped up the prices of the in-game currency stuff, which was awkward, to say the least. Which is a shame, because mechanically...
The game itself is good.
Yeah.
The business model implemented by EA is rubbish, like for every other game.
Yeah, that kind of happened with Anthem, because, like I say, it's a shame, because mechanically, that game is quite sound.
Yeah.
But content-wise, there isn't much there.
I did think the map was going to be bigger in Anthem.
Yeah.
The way they kind of put it forward, it kind of makes you think, oh, that's going to be a really big map, and then you get on it, and it's like, it's not.
You can get point to point in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is...
Dragon Age maps have been fucking bigger.
Yeah. But, no, you having fun with it, though, then, I'm assuming, Dariusz?
Yeah. It's a good stress relief after work, if I have a chance to play it.
If he goes to work.
I'm trying to go to work, Stefan. I'm not like you, who is off sick for every single...
Oh, I've not been off sick for God knows how long.
At least few times a month.
No.
Okay.
I don't know where you're getting your information from, you liar.
Shall I, just go for a second and let you work out your differences?
Don't worry, I'll beat him up.
About the sick days?
Yeah.
It's coming from the one who took sick days to go on holiday.
Ooh. Might cut that.
I will move on from that point.
He don't work there anymore anyway.
Oh, well, I guess that's not too much of a problem then. Right, okay, cheers, Dariusz, for your Battlefront insight. So, Steph, it is your turn.
I've not played any games new, but I
Okay.
have played Brass,
Brass.
the board game. I was playing it with Dariusz yesterday.
Okay.
I don't know
So
why he
what
didn't
is
invite
Brass?
you. I did think he would invite you, but I don't think he cared that much. Dariusz, help explain it.
I was busy being a
Sure,
human being at bingo. Yeah, I'll say it. Anyway, yeah, so,
Is that
Brass.
your game news?
No.
Well, there are actually two versions of Brass, Lancashire and Birmingham. We've played the Birmingham.
There you go.
Birmingham Brass. Okay, that still sounds like a cool name. What do you do?
Dariusz, help. You know the game better than me.
But it's your pig to tell.
I swear it. Well, what else am I gonna do? Okay, you at the beginning you get how many cards is it? Like 8 cards. You get 8 cards, and then in it you kind of build. It's like going back to when Manchester first started, and you make industries and then sell people coal and iron and shit like that to gain profit.
Okay.
But you don't sell it. Basically, any other player can take any of your resources as long as they're joined to you by a canal. But they have to have paid to make the canal.
Right, okay.
This is in the first stage. First stage is like a canal stage, and then the stage after that's train stage, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And in the first stage, you get your 8 cards, and you want to build your own like little... I think there's pottery, cotton, iron, and coal is the main resources in the whole thing. There is also... What's the other one? The boxes?
They're called goods.
Oh, so good. So foods.
like food or inventory or anything kind. It's like small appliances.
Small appliances. So there's your washing machines, fridges,
Well,
and then
I was more thinking like about furniture, but fine.
well, you said appliances.
Yeah, I know,
Furniture
but
isn't
they
a part
did-
of appliance.
But they didn't have it in the 18th century.
I know they didn't. This is why I'm a bit confused. I'm saying it's not a washing machine.
Right. So I'm looking at it. I'm seeing the board.
So
For the
technically,
game.
the easiest I think explanation about the brass is it's an economic game with.
It looks.
It's kind of like it's hard to explain because you not
It
tend.
looks like a Euro game. So
Yes,
something
it is.
like Ticket to Ride in a sort of sense of
Yes, it is.
filling out
It is-
bits with
it
sections
is.
in order
It's
to do it.
100% Euro game. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have your hand of 8 cards, and you can use 2 cards, 2 actions per turn to either build something or ship something. So you have to, first of all, you have to build, let's say, pottery, and then with the other action, you can use that to ship it to the market, which will
Right,
then generate the income for you every turn.
Mm.
And then you're using this income to build something more expensive, which will generate more victory points and more income if you ship it,
Yeah.
and so on and so on.
Okay. So how many games did you play and who won them?
We played one. It took what, like 3 hours.
Mm.
Me and Darius didn't win.
We
Dennis
lost.
won.
Oh, Dennis.
Don't even know who Dennis is.
Apparently, his strategy to go for more was a good one because I was more focused of not generating too much income, especially if I knew I will not really need it. So I was kind of trying to focus on building industries and links to the industries, so that will generate more points.
Yeah.
But I failed.
Oh. Oh well. Did you enjoy it though? That's
I did.
the sort of
Yeah.
idea. Because I feel like in terms of Euro games, that's something to look at. I mean, especially something like Ticket to Ride as well.
I've never played
That
Ticket
sort of-
for Rides.
Oh, that's. I've watched it. I've never actually played it myself. I do have it on the tabletop bundles that's on Steam, but board game variety is pretty cool as well. It's like, yeah, you're just competing people during the Great Railroad Rush, trying to create rail lines across the US or Europe, depending on what type of or what game you've got, and you do that by sort of drawing cards to sort of get train carriages that you can place on lines across America, and it sort of has a Lords of Waterdeep style thing where you've got hidden objectives in your hand that you need to complete to gain points, otherwise you lose points. But you don't want to let your opponents know that that's what you're trying to aim for, because they're going to try and block you while also trying to do their objectives. So it's the same sort of feel that I would expect brass to be like in that sort of way, in sort of trying to sort out your industries without people without letting on to people what you're trying to do.
Well, there is the other aspect to the brass is that, like, okay, you're playing versus other players, right?
Mm.
But then you can use their resources to help yourself to build some industries. But while using their resources, you're helping them
Make money and get points.
to get because let's say you build a coal and you're putting 4 cubes of the coal on that. As soon as that player run out of these 4 cubes, that tile business is flipped, and when you flipping it, that means all goods have been shipped. That means you generate from this mine, you generated instant income for that player who owned it.
So sort of Settlers of
So
Catan
if
plus.
so if you're using somebody else's resources, you as well helping them develop their economy.
So there's that sort of risk-reward structure that you got to go. Sounds cool. So, see how that works. That definitely piqued my interest.
I just love the fact I said this, started to explain it, and then Dariusz took ahead because he played it a lot more than me.
Well, yeah, but you also said you enjoyed it, so.
I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it.
So, yeah. That'll be.
By the way, I'm
cool.
not complaining he did that.
No, you mean you were asking for the help in just
yeah,
to.
I was asking for
just
the help.
sort it
I
out
just
anyway.
love the fact he took over it because it was like I was really stuck.
Fair enough. No, it's fine. It's fine. So we've had, what we had. We've had Star Wars Battlefront. We've had Brass, and it's on to me. The game that I played the most over
Bingo.
this week. Yes, actually. So Bingo is a 90 number game. No, I'm joking. No, it's been Far Cry New Dawn. I played and
have you got
completed
it
it
now?
over this week. Yeah, it turned out I found a deal for it.
I got it when I got Fallout 5.
Far Cry 5.
Yeah, Far Cry.
Yeah, no, I didn't at the time because I just had Far Cry. I've said it myself now. No, I said it right the first time. Oh, God.
Ryan, you're bad.
I'm confusing myself.
I'm not a bad influence.
I had Far Cry 5 for ages and just sort of got round to playing it. And then New Dawn came out. And, we know the Far Cry 5, first-person shooter, set in America, trying to take out some cultists, doomsday cult, who are trying to set something up for what they predict is the end of the world. I'm going to go into slight spoilers because Far Cry New Dawn's only a couple of months old. Nuclear fallout did happen. Turns out the cultist was right. Good old Joseph Seed, the father from the first game. So, Far Cry New Dawn is what I would call an expand-alone. There is definitely not enough content in it to warrant it to be a full game compared to Far Cry 5. So I'd call it an expand-alone, but it is a good expand-alone. Ubisoft may have shitty microtransactions every now and again, but they know how to do. They've got their core gameplay loop down in their games. Sometimes that can be a problem in terms of something like Assassin's Creed. Once you've played one Assassin's Creed, you've played them all at that point.
And then adding the boats for me to Assassin's Creed just made it worse.
See, yeah, we've talked about this tons of times, though, haven't we? In the sense that, I liked that they tried something new, and Far Cry, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, is probably my favourite of them. We'll see what happens at the end of the month on the Humble Monthly, when Assassin's Creed Origins comes out, and see if that's any good. It's got a leveling system, probably not. But anyway, go back to New Dawn. It's set 17 years after the events of Far Cry 5. In the same map. So they pulled a Primal, where it was the same map as Far Cry 4. But you follow a new character now called the Captain of Security, or as everyone just calls you, Cap, because it's easier. And you are now taking on the Highwaymen, which are led by twins called Lou and Mickey. Of course, like every Far Cry game, the villains are on the front cover of the box every time. It's the same sort of thing. You go around the map, recruiting specialists, basically rescuing them from dodgy stuff, looting materials as opposed to money this time, because what's money? And shooting stuff stealthily or loud as you see fit. Same sort of concept as the other games. You've got outposts that you take from them, where you'll gain bonuses if you take it without setting off an alarm or even being undetected. You just go around and you do your shooting, and they've got their good old guns and fangs for hire again. So you got your normal people, like my favourite gun for hire is a character called Nana. She's a very, very old lady, but she is also a beast with a sniper rifle. It's great.
She's a beast.
You meet.
So it's a really old woman. See, I was about to say it'd be really funny if she's an old woman, then you said it, and I thought that's kind of
Oh yeah,
fucking funny.
I mean, she's called Nana, so you know.
It'd be really good if she just goes to you and goes, "Yeah, dearie, have a sweetie," and she pulls it out of her purse.
No, she's kind of very violent for an old lady. I'll give you that. I mean, you do meet her though, and it's just like you meet her, and I think one of the things she says is like, "Oh yeah, you're probably asking yourself, how can I have the body the age of a model, yet the face of a scrotum?" And
I am asking that now.
but yeah, it's just like she's very agile old lady. It's just like she's the one that would be on the local news. Oh, 98-year-old Nana Doris completed the London Marathon for the 15th time.
And came
that
first.
Sort of, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, she came first. She actually beat the men's elite race. She beat Mo Farah. It was just like, what the fuck? Where'd she come from?
She even beat a guy on a pedal bike.
Yeah, she actually just went and ran the Formula One race, and she just beat them. What the hell is going on with her? But yeah, no, she's one of my favourites. But they've got others. You've got a boar, or it's like a pig or boar, who's literally, he's defined as tank. So he runs into maps with the express purpose of just having all the fire drawn towards him. Yeah, and then you got like you've got what looks to be a long-distant relative of Boomer, the dog from the first Far Cry 5. I've forgotten what his name's called, but he's the scout, so he can just run along and tag all the enemies, so you can then just have a nice shoot. But slightly different from 5 in that you can only have one gun/fang for hire or one co-op player, as opposed to Far Cry 5 where you could have up to 2 guns and fangs for hire /1 co-op player and gun. So yeah, it's sort of a little bit narrowed in that thing. Maybe probably because he thought it was a little bit overpowered to have a bunch of people treating it like Ghost Recon. But yeah, storylines there is very, very pink and blue, pastel pink and blue. It's very nice to see the whole map, and it rather than being the Fallout style of Wasteland, where it's just all rocks and grey and brown. It's very vibrant. It's sort of a case of the bombs didn't destroy Hope County in a way that just turned it into dust and ash. It's sort of wildlife has took over. It's a very I Am Legend sort of style.
Okay, yeah.
So the animals have took over, and there's flowers everywhere, and it's still got the old signs of the place. Sort of houses or wrecks of houses that are half buried because the dust has just come over and took everything apart. But yeah, it was an enjoyable game. Let's say it was very, very short. That's why I call it an expandalone. But yeah, it was nice to meet old characters, meet aged up versions of old characters. Particularly,
what would happen to your original person?
So, okay, in the sort of spoiler warning territory on this. Right, there we go. That's enough for those people who want to still listen. They'll still listen. The original character, the rookie, or the rookie deputy, or whatever they were called. So they get captured at the end of Far Cry 5.
Okay.
So what happens is they succeed in taking down the cult. They confront Joseph, and they have a giant boss battle. He gets defeated, and as you're arresting him, the bombs go off. You've then rescued all of the other members of the police or the sheriff's department that you've got there, and try and drive to the bunker that you started the game in. You fail. Everyone dies apart from you and Joseph, who drags you to the bunker, handcuffs you there, tells you that he was going to kill you, but no, we need to start a family, blah blah blah. Later on in the game, you meet the group of New Eden from the sort of the game, and they're the people who've shunned all the technology. They've went a Far Cry primal way. They just use bows and arrows, and they're so doped up on bliss, but not bliss being the drug in the game. Sort of in a way that they can just live their lives. And you meet Joseph again, who's now a kind of good guy, which is a bit of a weird one. Sort of realizes that he fucked up, and just decided, well, humanity's stupid. We're just going to try and we're going to leave everyone else in peace. We're just going to get on with our own life. And then you meet a character called the Judge, who can be one of your guns for hire. The Judge is just head to toe in leather clothing, sort of animal skin clothing, and a giant mask. And it turns out through conversations and notes, you find that the Judge is the captain, is the deputy from the previous game, who's so guilt-ridden by the events at the end of Far Cry 5 that they just requested to wear a mask and will just listen to everything Joseph says. They've sort of become subservient. Okay. And it's kind of depressing, because you move, and sometimes you're there in prosperity, the city that you, or the town that you look to rebuild, and you can walk past and you'll just hear the Judge sobbing uncontrollably. They don't speak in any other way, like the first game. In fact, one of the characters mentions, they're still quiet. But yeah, you can just walk past and you just hear the Judge just going. Wow. And the question that they answer that people ask on that was like, well, what are they? Are they male or female in this? It's like, well, no, they're whatever you made them. They're just so covered up in clothing, and all they make are grunt noises that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Judge becomes from a playable character to one of your guns for hire later on in the game. In fact, to the point that one of their traits is stealth, to the point of that if you get in a vehicle, they won't, because for them it's considered too loud. They're generating too much attention to the bad guys, so they will just run.
Fair enough.
Which is fun. But yeah, no, I'd play it. I'd certainly play it co-op with people, if only to do the features.
I've got it.
Expeditions.
So I'll play co-op with you. I've never actually started it yet, so.
Oh no, expeditions are probably the things that'll be liked on there. There's bits where you'll leave Hope County in a helicopter, and you'll try and take on the highwaymen on maps. They're large scale, and you have to pick up a bag, and you need to try and do that stealthily. But once you pick up the bag, it's got a GPS tracker on it, which activates after 30 seconds. So it becomes then a survival game at that point. So you pick up the bag, you leg it to an extraction point, and then you have to hold out. It's very, very Division based. It's like the Dark Zone.
Yeah, it does seem like Dark Zone type thing.
Except without the backstabbing rogue elements, yeah. So but once you there's 3 difficulty levels. Once you get to and complete the 3rd difficulty level, it then randomizes the objectives on that map. So you can then just turn it into a bit of an endless game, and you get resources that you can use to upgrade your guns from there as well. So
Bless me.
Bless you.
Bless you.
But that's something to consider, and if you're up for it at one point, I'll play
it.
So yeah. So that's me. So
to be honest, I think that's the reason I got it, for the co-op play.
Yeah,
I have to admit, I'm not one of them. I've kind of fell off the whole thing of playing games that aren't co-op anymore. I like a good individual story, because I still like Dragon Age, and I can't wait for another Dragon Age. It's like Assassin's Creed. I always wanted a proper co-op Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I think I'm sort of like you on that sort of idea. I mean, I will play a single-player game because I like the story element of a single-player game.
Yeah.
I would like to co-op with people because that grants some sort of group aim for it. Party play, those sort of competitive games, a bit like Move or Die, I'll play, and Worms. They're just a fun, and they're not you're not out there to be competitive and win. I just don't gravitate towards competitive games anymore. So your first-person shooter fests and MOBAs.
Are we getting old?
I can't get back into them.
Do you say we're getting old?
I think so.
Yeah, back in my day.
Back in my day, everything used to be co-op.
Back in my day, you could all just sit there and play a game on one screen.
Yeah. back.
Yeah.
That's Ryan showing his age, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, we're done with showing our age and speaking in video games, so it is time to go to the news.
News time.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Thank you, Steph. So we will start with Steph's story first.
I don't even know what this
One
story
really-
is. I put it in. I don't even know what it is. Oh yeah, I know what it is now. I know what it is.
Yeah, the one you uploaded from Games Radar, where it's been reported that Dragon Age 4 may incorporate live service elements, but they have stated that it won't be Anthem with dragons.
Oh,
So
oh yeah, it actually
So-
says it won't be. I remember hearing, I remember telling you about this. I did read an article where it was like, it's going to be Anthem with dragons.
yeah, it turns out it doesn't end up being that. Yeah, so the idea is that Kotaku, investigative journalists like they are, apparently stated that Dragon Age 4 was going to be, this is the weird one, smaller than Dragon Age Inquisition, but larger in player choice, followers, reactivity, and depth. Which sounds a bit weird. So they're going to try and turn. It sounded like they were just going to turn it into a shared world,
It's a bit like a Destiny thing.
Yeah. So it's just sort of the idea that you'd be able to do it, and then you'd join in with other bits. Now,
I don't like the sounds of that.
no, not really. I think I've liked with Dragon Age, and you're probably the same sort of idea on it. You like this idea of it being you and your party,
Yeah.
and in your development and sort of the attachments that you make, basically like any sort of RPG like that. Sort of BioWare, part of their shtick was that they could do very heavily character-focused narratives.
But then, see, in number 1 was all about the...
It was the Darkspawn, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was all about the Darkspawn, but then you become the hero of Ferelden.
Yeah.
If you go down the thing where you survive, down the story path where you can actually survive, you become the hero of Ferelden, who magically survived. Because, regardless, everyone believed you should have died. And then in number 2 is Kirkwall, where you become the hero of Kirkwall. But at the end of number 2, they're asking, we don't know where he's gone, and they don't know where the hero of Ferelden's gone. They just seem to have vanished. Yet, in an Inquisitor, they don't mention it again.
Yeah, it's a bit weird on that. It's like it sort of got lost to history, and that's not...
That's
not
weird.
weird,
That's a bit
considering that
weird
the-
for BioWare, because they tend to carry it on.
Yeah. Take into account the origin story, which, there's time between the origin and becoming the Grey Warden at the beginning of the game, yeah?
Yeah.
Sort of years or such that could happen there. And then, generally, it's been a linear time frame from there, hasn't it? So, between sort of being the hero for Ferelden and then the Battle of Kirkwall.
Hero of Kirkwall. The champion of Kirkwall is what you are
Well,
classed as.
I mean, sort of the Battle of Kirkwall
Yeah.
was where it all started, wasn't it? With the Mage Rebellion and
Yes.
sort of the Templar sort of stuff.
When the
all
Inquisitor
happened-
came in.
Yeah. So the whole Kirkwall thing happened over the period of what? 5 years, I think it is, or something like that.
It does tell you in it, it's like because you do in Kirkwall you can meet Alistair or the Queen, depending on
depending on
who you've put on the throne. But I think it's set. The battle itself is set. I think it's about almost every time you play is a year. So you've got the year from getting there.
There was like 3 chapters, wasn't there? So
It took you a year. When you got there, it took you a year then to fund your Deep Road exposition. By the time you did that, it was just as the Blight ended, I believe.
yeah,
Because the reason they wanted to go down there was because of the Blight. Because it would have emptied the tunnels out.
yeah,
So then, once you've done that, so that game part's a year, and then the next time you take control is another year, so that's 2 years.
Mm.
And then I think from that point to where you fight the finale is another year.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not sure about the space between the Canary and the Mages. I think that's probably another year. But then
Yeah.
I don't know if you become the champion and you're the champion for a year until the Mage stuff happens, or because it does tend to take your one play area is based in a year, and then it tends to take a year gap where your character's bought the house, bought all this property, whatever, and then it goes on to the next one. I assume it would have been roughly a year, because you become a very big. No, it might be less, because the so it happened within about 5 years. I'd say.
That's what I mean. Sort of. There was the 3 chapters which took place over a year, and then, like you said, there was the 2 breaks in between that, where stuff happened, and then effectively at that point, Inquisition starts immediately after that.
Yes.
Because of the whole situation of trying to do the conclave, and then all the shit that happens from there. But sort of BioWare know how to do that in a timing sense, and I'm sort of concerned with turning sort of Dragon Age 4 into a live service and having a shared player experience sort of detracts from that, especially when in the article it claimed that they were looking at the idea of having drop-in support and evolving quest lines influenced by players' choices that are not your own. So turning it from then the personal game into a game that is played based on what the majority choose is not really.
See, I don't like that,
something
because
you're
that
looking
means
for.
I don't get to see how my story will play out. I'm basically
Yeah.
stuck to follow whatever the majority wants to do. So if the majority want to be good people and you could have gone down a dark path, you're not going to be able to go down that dark path then, are you?
Yeah, I mean, I think the better way of doing this would have been and it's weird that I'm saying this, the Star Wars: The Old Republic MMO.
Yeah.
The way that they did it was sort of interesting. It was in the way of the story would follow based on the party leader's decisions.
Yes.
But everyone's dark side and light side ratings were based on what conversations they chose. So you'd be able to follow the story of the party leader without being penalised in terms of your own character
Yes.
development
I remember that.
by doing that. And that was actually, I consider that very sort of clever in that way. So, yeah, I think it's to say a bit anxious for development of Dragon Age 4, provided it still goes on. Honestly, I
have to admit, I have seen some articles. Well, I've seen one article that I think says number 4 is not happening anymore. But then it's the only article I have found, and I've not seen any other traces of it.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I haven't looked in the last 2 days since the last time I saw it, but
Yeah. Sorry. It's still something to sort of be concerned about, especially with the ongoing Anthem business, and especially with that Jason Schreier article, which is sort of blew up, and really blew up in BioWare's face with how they responded to it. I mean, we discussed that last week.
yes.
But yeah, we'll see how that goes. And while we do that,
Like I said in the last one, get this shit together. Make a Dragon Age 4.
get shit together, make the game,
Make
close the storyline.
Yeah, close the storyline, and please tell me what is. I want to see my hero for Eldon and my champion.
And your
back.
Hawk.
Yeah, my Hawk. I want to see my Hawk.
Yeah.
I want to see what happened to the buggers.
Yeah, I want to see what happens. I mean, Hawk appeared in Inquisition.
He appears in what?
I said Hawk appears in Inquisition based on what history you got.
Does it? Oh.
Yeah. I mean, this is coming from the source of the Dragon Age wiki. That Hawk actually does appear, depending on sort of whether you sided with the mages or the Templars.
I'm assuming if you sided with the Templars, you would have appeared.
Well, they apparently appeared either way, but there was also the Abyss ending, which is a sort of a bit different. But
because
yeah,
I know what's happened to the hero for Eldon because of the add-on stories, the DLC they did for it. And Morrigan is meant to have come back in. Did she come back in Inquisitor?
What? Hawk?
No, Morrigan.
Morrigan?
If it was
I unsure.
I know
on
they
that.
use. I'm sure they use her in the video. Or is it the number 4 they've used it for the video? I can't remember now.
Let's see. No. Yes. She apparently does appear in Inquisition. Wow. She's wearing a corset. But yeah. But,
Because
some characters do appear and some not.
she
Varric is
takes-
really the major one.
He's in 2 of them now.
He's heavily involved in 2 and 3.
But then he is the storyteller for all of this, I believe.
Yeah.
He's the one who's telling this story.
Mm.
You're just playing it.
But yeah, we'll see how that goes, and we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully they just decide it's a single player experience like it should be. But
hell yeah.
yeah, we move on to more Jason Schreier stories. It's the one that Dariusz had just put in the feed.
Ooh,
Now,
I've not seen this. I saw it pop
where,
up.
Again, this is Eurogamer, and it's a report that on a recent podcast, Jason Schreier.
I read this earlier actually.
Yeah, sort of him sort of speculating that Sony had
Is
basically
the reason they
nuked character transfers for
But then-
cross-platform stuff.
That tends to be a lot of the things Sony does there.
Yeah, they're trying to
Mm.
make they console their own ecosystem.
Yeah, but then I've had this discussion before. It's like cross-platform play and everything else. Like you've got the whole security issue,
Yeah,
which I think Sony doesn't want to have to deal with. They don't want to put the man hours and the money into doing it, while other games are going to go, yeah, we'll do it.
Mm.
Just to
Yeah.
please us, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean this is apparently coming up on. From what I'm reading here, though, a lot of this isn't just the fact of Sony and its cross-play issues. That's been and gone. I mean, cross-play looks like it's going to eventually head onto Sony.
Oh yeah, it will eventually
Yeah.
go on. I think they've kind of been pressured into it more than anything else.
Yeah. But I mean, this is something separate. You know, the quote from Square is that they heard that Bungie wanted to do character transfers for PS4 and PC before Forsaken came out, but Sony wouldn't allow it. Sony is just like, we want people to associate Destiny with PS4, even if that means screwing over other players. Yeah, I guess. I mean, when you actually think of looking at advertising for Destiny 2, generally you see the bit at the end that says, "Oh yeah, get all these maps and all this stuff first on PlayStation."
Yeah.
That's going to be in the eyes. Well, I think actually it's probably a case when someone thinks Destiny, they think PlayStation. Secondary, they think it's PC because of Destiny 2. But that's going to have its own problems now that that Bungie pulled out of the Activision stuff. I mean, it's fair for it to still be on Battle.net and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, this may have come up. To be fair, this looks like it came up while it was in the crossplay issue. I can see that in terms of an exclusivity standpoint, I can see why the character transfers would be a problem. Because, sure, transferring to PlayStation to get exclusives is one thing. Transferring from
with
PlayStation
exclusives.
and that's the sort of the problem. So yeah, I can see where they're coming. Business wise, it's still stupid for exclusivity, but it's a fair thing. So it was just a quick one because.
But then at the end of the day, that's also where Bungie and Activision could have just made a lot more money, and Sony and everyone else wouldn't have seen a fucking penny of it.
Yeah.
Well, I still kind of hope one day I will be able to just buy the game and play it on the platform, and when
you got that.
on which platform and when I want it
Yeah.
of my
You got that
choice,
weird
not
Google
like
console,
not like
haven't
it is right now. So I would pay for Destiny 3. And okay, today I'm playing on PC, tomorrow I will be playing on Xbox, and the day after I might play on Nintendo Switch. So
Yeah.
that will be something what I'm looking forward to. You buying the game regardless the platform.
Mm.
If it will be if you can play it on all those platforms, that's what it should be.
Yeah. It's a bit of a pipe dream though, isn't it?
I was about to say that's more than a pipe dream. That's like a fucking pipe bomb.
Way. But yeah. While we're speaking of Activision, I'll bring this onto the odd news of the of this week.
Did they destroy
My
something?
God, did you hear this about Activision Blizzard and their weird kinks regarding monitoring data about pregnancies?
There what?
Wait. Activision Blizzard pays employees $1 per day.
Go on, finish it off.
I can't see the rest of it. It just goes $1 for their pregnancy data.
Yep. Oh, this come up on Eurogamer, middle of last week. Yeah,
They're making a pregnancy app or something.
I don't know. I don't get how this is monitored. I don't know if this is a way of sort of.
They're gonna start bringing like pregnancy into games, and they're just wanting to study what it actually is like and how it so they can make the characters react better.
Yeah,
I'd hope so.
Like, I mean, it's weird. I mean, to be fair, I can see where this has come from on sides. Now, this would have been perfect for a Business with Duncan segment, but yeah, the idea of this is that anonymously, employees at Activision can share their pregnancy data, sort of,
Yes,
well, basically
because
their stuff.
If Charlotte is the only one pregnant in the office at the time, and then the pregnancy data starts, it's so anonymous.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess this really works with big companies because they're going to have hundreds of employees.
Yeah, unless everyone in your fucking department of something like that is going to end up pregnant, you all at the same time. Oh, we're all giving birth the same day. Don't expect us in for these few months. Half your fucking building's just gone for a year.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at this though. Let's think of it this way: 9-month pregnancy, generally, that they will that parent will find out within 2 to 3 months normally.
Yes.
Something like that, and then they're getting paid $1 a day as a gift card, which means that's sort of then you got 7 months of pay in addition to the payment that you're getting for your new baby. I guess that sort of
enough
works.
for nappies.
Yeah, as one of the data that said they provided diaper and formula money, as quoted in this. But the thing that they got on there is that they're apparently saving $1,200 or about £920 per employee in annual medical costs. It's a cost-saving exercise. It's
But what are they using the data for?
Just
give us your data. We'll just give you the $1 and then fuck off. We'll just throw it in that bin over there in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, I could see where someone would probably go, oh, well, we can then look at how we can sort of do maternity leave and sort of monitor sort of the healthy working conditions for pregnant employees in the workplace. But then you've also got to remember this is Activision Blizzard.
Why is this a quote? I want them to have a healthy baby because it's great for a business experience. What is having a healthy baby great for having your business?
Bring your baby to work day.
Yeah, most people do that just to show them around, and that'll be it.
Well,
yeah, it's
still happy employee, happy workplace.
Yeah, but I find it a bit tough for a happy employee in a place that uses crunch as a motivation.
Yeah, and they don't. You think of it this way: you have a healthy baby. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's all good. You're not going to be there for the next 9 to 12 months.
Depending on
your maternity. So when you come back, you could come back a complete and utter fucking wreck.
Yeah. Hey, you could come back a complete and utter fucking wreck without a job.
Yeah. So I still want to know what the hell are they using this information for?
Yeah. It just monitoring, which is, I guess it comes down to the bottom of
We're spying on your baby. We want to know if he wants to be hired by the end of the year. Yeah.
I mean, it does lead to the question by the reporter by Emma Kent for this. She's like, Activision Blizzard's claim the scheme brings health benefits is... She's the punner. She's the pun one. Just read that there. The scheme brings health benefits is all well and good.
Whereabouts is this?
All well, 1984, Big Brother's watching you. It's right at the bottom of the article.
Found it.
But the argument for this is for the welfare of employees. I'm not buying it. Yeah, I mean, look at Activision's track record. You know, it's just...
They don't care about the people.
Yeah.
They don't care about the fucking... They don't care about us.
Oh,
Why would they really care about their employees?
yeah. I mean, I'm liking the comments for this straight up at the time. You've got, on the Eurogamer, you've got Mr. Tom FTW reads headline, I'm sorry, what? Reads article, I'm sorry, what? And then, a user, Jim Jamyahar, says, I'm definitely filing this news article under creepy bastards.
Hell yeah!
But, so, Jesus.
But that is fucking creepy as fuck.
Yeah. When you bring it down to it, I could see the the benefit of having this sort of extra money, but then when you realise that extra money is then subsidised by the fact that you're then reducing costs, probably in maternity, and with the fact that they've then got your data about how you've had your baby.
We noticed you had a lot of melons when you were pregnant.
Oh yeah, you had a lot of potassium. Oh well, there we go then.
So
right.
Don't be blaming work stress for this happening to your child.
Yeah, it wasn't work. It was the hormones. Yeah, you fuck off, Activision Blizzard. It was the work. But yeah, no, we will move swiftly on from that to the last news report here. So, do you know, like we were talking last week about Prince Harry, blah 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 to the Queen Elizabeth, long may she reign.
Oh yeah.
About banning Fortnite.
Yes.
Well, how it must feel to be a PUBG player in Nepal.
They actually done it?
They've banned it.
Aww.
Fair enough.
According to this PC Gamer article, all internet and mobile providers in the country will be required to enforce the ban of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. It was effective 3 days ago as of time of recording, so that was Thursday last week.
Thursday the 11th.
Yeah, Thursday the 11th. Effective immediately. I love this. The move comes after the Nepal Metropolitan Crime Division filed a public interest litigation, basically known as "Will somebody please think about the children?" law.
So the Simpsons law.
Yeah. Oh, what's her name? Reverend Lovejoy's wife.
I have no idea what her name is, and I couldn't care.
But you know what I mean, Mrs.
Yes.
Lovejoy. Won't somebody please think about the children? Yeah.
I think that's like her only line in almost any of the Simpsons anymore.
Yeah, but it's just like we've received a number of complaints from parents, schools, and school associations regarding the effects of the game on children.
Why? What was it doing?
They were playing it. Obviously, they're going on the idea of addiction, and affecting children's studies and making them more aggressive, is what was quoted from Metropolitan Crime Division Chief Dheeraj Pratap Singh.
I think this is more come from their parents telling them to pause the game.
Yeah. But
I have to admit, I rage at that one.
Yeah.
Stefan, pause the game and can you help me downstairs, please?
Yeah, in the middle of a live game. Yeah, I'm playing Rainbow Six. I'll come right down.
Yeah.
I'll
be honest.
Let me just tell the enemy team
something.
I'm going AFK if they don't shoot me.
Don't shoot me. I'm going AFK. When I come back, I'll be ready to go. However, I love that the idea on this is that, right, PUBG may cause aggression in children. Therefore, starting today, we are banning it in the country. So, for a may be, they cancel everything. This may be the issue, nothing to do with the parenting. Well, yeah, we discussed all this last week, didn't we, Steph? So, no. There's
times where I go, okay, yeah, the game may have done this, but then why did you let them play it? Why? Well, yeah. I know many people kids who play games, but they don't play it ridiculously like some people.
So let's have a look at this.
They'll turn around and go, okay, you can play the game for, let's say, an hour. After that, you need to make sure you've had this done, and you're not allowed back on it. But you have to have all this done before you can go on it. So that's parenting. Giving your child a game and telling them, leave me alone, basically, is not backing parenting.
Yeah. I mean, if we have a look at this, so we use the PEGI or the BBFC in extreme cases, age ratings for games as well.
Yes.
So PEGI, which I know is pan-European gaming information, but that's what we use in Europe, and that's what we use in the UK. So it's rated, let's see, hold on, let's see if I can find it. I think it's rated 16? Let's have a look. Interesting, it doesn't show it. But, right, okay, we'll go with generally on Steam then. It's rated 18.
Yeah.
And I think PEGI is rated 16. So, that's the thing. So, this leads to where Steph's going. The problem isn't the game.
This is just the
game
parents
has
letting
been...
them play the game.
Yeah. And, again, this has come up. The games are not meant to be played by the children in the first place. We need to stop doing this sort of idea of this narrative that's been going since the 80s, that games, consoles, and video games are toys, and they're only for children, and therefore anything that isn't released for children is a problem. No, the industry is bigger than that now. Especially when you look at what Nintendo did, where they've turned around and said, well, I guess our games console is a toy, however, why should only children play it?
Yeah, but then that's a whole family thing now with Nintendo.
Well, yeah, they were family focused from the off anyway.
Oh, true.
That's where they have been, and that's where they have their games have the broad age ratings, and that's why sort of the franchise that they have, the Marios and the, let's say, Zeldas, are generally in that sort of younger demographic. To Zelda, you go slightly up to sort of the 12s, and then you have your things like your Metroids and sort of other games where they're sort of slightly more adult in that sort of rating. But Nintendo have got this idea that the games console should be for everyone, so why should we be limiting people? I mean, in terms of this market, that I guess it's Nepal, which I find it a bit Nepaling actually. But I apologise. I tried a pun. That was awful. But the fact that they've banned it on the idea of the children might get hurt, therefore we're going to treat it as badly, or we're going to treat it like it's a controlled substance. I mean, at the end of the day, it's probably not going to work. And then again, there are a lot of countries that, tightly restrict so much that you can't even say something without having the secret police at your door. So, but it's a shame. It's a shame, but hopefully people might actually find that the problem is, maybe we should look at protecting the children by, actually keeping an eye on them.
Instead of
like
being
a
ignorant.
parent. So my parents made sure I was fine.
I believe all
Then
our
again, I
parents-
wasn't also a.
I
Then
believe
again, I
all our
wasn't also a
parents
weird person. Nah. But yeah.
Did you say
with
you're
that,
not a
with
weird
that little
person?
bit.
Did you say you're not a weird person?
I never said that.
I was going to say, because that's a lie.
But anyway, we will wrap that up then with that humbling thought. So thank you, Dariusz and Stefan, for joining today.
No, thank you for having us.
Okay. Oh well, thank you very much.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah. So if you liked what you heard this week, please, if you aren't listening to us on YouTube, please like, share, subscribe, click that bell, do all the things that you want. Maybe even comment. Analytics, visibility. If you aren't listening to this on YouTube and you want to listen to it in your ear holes without having a video loaded in the background, you can listen to it on iTunes, or as of yesterday, in recording terms, as of Saturday last week, it's on Spotify now.
Yay!
Turns out it was quite easy to upload it to Spotify by making it open. So that's there. So you can listen to it that way. Because I realised at that point that not everyone has an Apple device, but everyone has a device that can listen to Spotify.
I just don't have
So,
Spotify.
You don't have to be subscribed to Spotify. You just need to have it.
No, I just don't have it.
Yeah, but it's accessible. That's what I was going for. Anyway, we will move this on, and yeah, stuff will appear on the end screen for the YouTube video now for watching all our other stuff. Check out Sibling Rivalry for more Monster Prom stuff. Episode 4 should have been uploaded on
What's
Sunday.
the general up
because of
to
that.
nowadays?
The General is going through a War of the Chosen XCOM 2 run. That I initially thought was an Iron Man run because I thought Stephen was crazy, but he's not. He's just doing a normal run. The Gauntlet Play Session trilogy has wrapped up, so we're going to look at maybe seeing what we can do with something else. So maybe more play session, maybe something immaterially different. Who knows? Role-playing Nottingham Games is still carrying on. I've figured at the rate I'm going with it, there'll be about 14 more episodes.
Yay!
Fair enough.
Because I've been going through 2 episodes a chapter, and there's about 7 chapters left. So there. At that point, it's probably then going to be playing an RPG that I may not like Mass Effect Andromeda.
I didn't mind that.
We'll see. And what progress have we got on your 2 guys' project?
We've only done 1 episode at the minute.
Okay, so it's still going.
Yeah, we are planning on recording more today, I believe.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
So
Depending
Fair
on what
dues.
it's doing.
okay then. Well, in that case, with that, we shall see you next week. For God's sake, please don't kill each other.
And I'm not hiding the bodies. If you do.
Absolutely not. It's your own to do now.
Ryan told me
So-
I'm not allowed to offer that surface anymore.
Yeah, there's sort of a legal aspect, legal difficulties for doing that. But then again, we're not a company yet, so who knows? So yeah, we'll see you next time.
I take cash.
See you. Bye bye.
What do you mean cash? You told me card. You told me PayPal. You told me it was easily traceable.
We're done for.